Talks Live podcast with Mike B and me, AI Victoria. So without further ado, here's Mike B.
Good evening, everyone. Uh, um, we're live, and it's been a minute since I've been online. I've spent the past week, almost 2 weeks, trying to come up with a new system for podcasting, something a little bit more streamlined, something a little bit more with capabilities to do the things that I want to do. And I just been trying to, kind of figure things out. So I actually wanted to do a live today to talk about several things. Actually, I have a notepad of things that I wanted to do this evening and prepare for a nice, good, pre extended holiday podcast. So I have a lot of things on my schedule for the next 2 weeks, actually. But for the most part, I want to relax. I want to enjoy the holidays, Christmas and New Year's holidays, and just kind of take things easy a bit. I have been working on just trying to refine the technology to balance what I do with an AI component. Um, I'm hoping that the AI portion of things um, help me to kind of keep the scales balanced with my opinion and actual facts that are out there. But before I go any further, I do want to say Happy Hanukkah, a happy Festival of Lights to the Jewish community. I do have a very close connection to the Jewish community, so it means a lot to me. So I didn't want to spend a lot of time just trying to figure things out with the podcast because there's things that are happening in the media, as you may or may not know, as you may be waking up if you're in other parts of the world. Maybe you do know, I do believe the time is about 6:49, almost 7 a.m. in the state of Israel. But I heard some very disturbing news this afternoon. Oh, actually, not even this afternoon, the late evening, approximately, I would say, maybe 2 or 3 hours ago, regarding an incident, a Hanukkah festival celebration event that happened in Australia. I believe the actual location was a place called Bondi Beach, Australia, which is a part of Sydney. It's a very popular, very um, uh, 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 I don't know too much about it, but it's a frequently visited place for many Jews in Australia. So it's a beach, so everyone's out with the family, relaxing and doing what they do. And a horrible incident happened in which I believe somewhere between 15 to 16 people were killed, as well as a number of injuries. I think over 40 injuries that occurred in the at the same time. And I was able to pull a couple of clips. I'm not going to go very much I'm not going to go too far into the clips, but I do want to just kind of give, if you're just waking up, if you're just becoming aware of this situation, I just to keep my audience kind of up to date as to what actually happened. I'm still in shock again. This should not be happening in 2025. It should not be happening, period. And of course, I take it one step further because I do have, close ties to the Jewish community, the Jewish faith, relationships, family, etc. And I do visit Israel as often as I can, and I look forward to visiting Israel in the upcoming future. But in any case, this should not have happened. So let me just play this clip and get everyone up to speed.
We understand apparently owns a fruit shop in Sutherland. No experience with guns. He
Let me
was
see
just
if I can
walking
back this
past.
up a little bit.
We are told that he has 2 bullets in his arm, but they think he's going to be
This
okay.
is my
And in
situation.
the next hour,
Let
let's
me
have a
see
listen
here.
to
I've got a
the
new
hero's
system going
relatives
on here.
talking about his
Let me
act,
back
and we
this
are
up just a
confident in
little
saying
bit.
that is
Let me back it up.
him, the gentleman who
Okay,
raced
here we go.
into the scene to disarm one of the gunmen. We're just learning some details about him because he has been shot. Now, we are confident in saying
So
that
this
is
is
him. He's one of his relatives has just
person
spoken
that
to one of our
disarmed.
reporters. We've got an interview coming in. We understand that this gentleman's name is Ahmed Al Ahmed. He's a 43-year-old married father of 2. And he raced in to help. We understand.
So he was
Apparently owns a
actually
fruit shop in
shot, but
Sutherland.
he
No
raced in to
experience with
help
guns. He was just walking past.
save lives.
We
So
are
this
told
guy's
that
a
he has
hero.
2 bullets in his arm, but they think he's going to be okay. And in the next hour, let's have a listen to the hero's relatives talking about his acts this evening at Bondi Beach.
Still, he's in the hospital, and we don't know exactly what's going inside. But they said the doctor he's very okay. And next 2 hours, they let us to go in and see Ahmed because he's still inside, and he do the operation. But we hope he will be fine. He's a hero, 100%. He's a hero because what
This is
we
the gentleman,
see
of course, that
on the social media,
took the weapon away
he's
from the assailant.
He's 100% hero.
To his shoulder?
Yeah, he have 2 shots, one in his arm here and one in his hand.
Looks like he had a shotgun.
And have you been able to talk to him today?
No, because I come when I see what's happening, and
No,
I come here.
it says 12 killed
said
on the lower part of the screen, the lower third, but I believe that has risen.
I'm still waiting to see him.
Well, there you go. Some
again,
first-hand accounts.
This is the person that was actually doing the shooting. My understanding is this was a father and son situation, so there was actually another person there. Again, this is a very fluid situation. It's coming out, even as I'm speaking. And but this was during a Hanukkah celebration, and this is being considered an act of terrorism. The anti-Semitic hate that's happening worldwide. This happened in Australia. And my understanding, and again, there's so many clips out there right now. It's a very fluid situation. The person was, the assailant was captured, as you can see, by a heroic individual who I believe was Muslim. So the Muslim brother took down this assailant. So shout out to him. And no doubt he was able to save many lives. I've always said, it doesn't really matter, what your religion is. A human is a human, a life is a life. Respect all life, and this is an example of that. My understanding is Bibi Netanyahu warned the Prime Minister of Australia on the growing anti-Semitism in Australia. There was a news clip that he actually posted. I'm going to share that with you, and then I'll jump back to commentary.
I wrote, your call
Let me
for a
back this
Palestinian
back.
state.
Again, this is the new system I've got. There we go.
On August 17th, about 4 months ago, I sent Prime Minister Albanese of Australia a letter in which I gave him warning that the Australian government's policy was promoting and encouraging anti-Semitism in Australia. I wrote, your call for a Palestinian state pours full fuel on the anti-Semitic fire. It rewards Hamas terrorism. It emboldens those who menace Australian Jews and encourages the Jew hatred now stalking your streets. Anti-Semitism is a cancer. It spreads when leaders stay silent. It retreats when leaders act. I call upon you to replace weakness with action, appeasement with resolve. Instead, Prime Minister, you replaced weakness with weakness and appeasement with more appeasement. Your government did nothing to stop the spread of anti-Semitism in Australia.
Okay, so I'm going to cut it right there. Bibi Netanyahu made a statement regarding this. We don't know what the outcome will be regarding this, but it was a travesty. Again, it never should have happened. And, my heart goes out, to the families and the victim. And hopefully we can find some form of resolve and justice for what actually happened in Australia today. I, just would like to say I wish everyone peace. My understanding is today is the beginning of Hanukkah. It starts at sunset on Sunday the 14th, which is actually today here in the U.S. And I hope for peace in the United States, as well as all over the world. And we need to just respect each other, respect each other's beliefs and faiths, and not resolve conflict with violence, and just have respect for one another. Again, I apologize for the technology. I don't know what the outcome is going to be of this. I've been working for several days trying to refine things, and the reason why I do this is because, again, I work a full-time job, and when I get off as an outlet for myself, I do like to research and develop not only things that are happening in the world, but I have to integrate the technology into that all as well. And I will, continue to get better and better. But I had a full show lined up tonight, a full stack of things that I wanted to talk about. I don't quite have my niche yet, as to what I want to stay with as far as providing commentary in a podcast. But I do love conspiracies. I do love paranormal. I do love articles of interest, whether it's including political, religious, science. So I'm kind of jumping all over the place. So I had a show that I wanted to do just on medical related situations, and I will do a show on that maybe later on this week. And as we approach Christmas, I'm going to do a Toy Story show. And that Toy Story show I'm going to talk about all the wonderful toys. A guy like myself who grew up in the 70s, I was able to appreciate. My parents did a really good job with making sure I had some of the coolest toys out there. So we'll do a Toy Story show for Christmas. And of course, we'll follow up with a beautiful New Year's podcast. And I'll hope to bring on some special guests. I hope to play some music. I hope to do some sipping and bring in 2026 the right way. Just to before I close out the show, one of the topics that I wanted to kind of talk about, and I'll do a deeper dive into in the future, is I saw a podcast. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't a podcast. It was a YouTube clip of something that I found very interesting. I actually mentioned not the phrase that was used in this clip, but I kind of skimmed the top of what I think this theory may be. It was actually mentioned by this YouTube person. I didn't know what it was, but when I saw the clip, I was like, that's interesting. I actually did a show on this particular phenomenon. So let me play this clip, and then I'll talk to you about the phenomenon that I mentioned several months ago. Let's do that.
Was taken, Donna and her fiance Alex were going through Donna's photo. This picture was taken in 1980 at Disneyland. The little girl in the far right-hand corner, her name is Donna, and she's 5 years old in this photo. The picture was taken by Donna's mother while they were on vacation. 22 years after this pic was taken, Donna and her fiance Alex were going through Donna's photo album to find pictures for their wedding, and they come across this photo. Alex is looking at the photo. He looks harder and he says, "You know what? That looks like my dad." And Donna says, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Back there, pushing the stroller, that looks just like my dad." And he said, "I know it's not, but it looks exactly like him." Then he looks even harder and he says, "You know what? That looks like me in the stroller." And Donna says, "We know that's not possible." And he says, "No, I know, but it's just crazy. That looks like me and my dad." So they turn the page, but then Alex turns back and he says, "Man, I got to figure this out. This looks just like me and my dad." So he calls his parents and he says, "Mom, when did we go to Disneyland?" And she says, "We went in 1980. And he says, "Can you go dig up our photos and tell me what me and my dad were wearing?" So his mom goes and gets the photos and explains what him and his dad were wearing. And sure enough, that was his dad pushing him in the stroller in the background of this photo. They were there in 1980 as well. And the crazy part about it is they were living in Canada at the time. They met 15 years after this photo was taken as adults. They're married, they have children of their own, and they went back to Disneyland to recreate this photo. But this is just a crazy story. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know what you call it. Some call it the red string theory, but this was dope to me.
Totally dope to me as well. The red string theory, and I would love to do an in-depth show on this at a later date, but it was very inspiring to me to run across this in the YouTube timeline. And the reason why is because I may have done a show on this with Swanee T many months ago about something that I found to be really strangely ironic. And I'm just going to give you a synopsis. So my grandmother, who was born in 1910, she was a devout Christian, and one of her dreams was to visit Israel. And in 1976, July 1976, she applied for a passport, and the passport was issued on a specific date in 1976. And specifically to visit Israel. And I shared this. My grandmother never got the opportunity to go to Israel. She just couldn't raise the amount of money even during that time to go. But, and I never knew, I knew this as a kid growing up. That's because all she talked about was Israel. And I knew that she had gone through the process of trying to raise the money to go to Israel, etc. And I know that she went as far as trying to obtain her passport. I knew that as a child growing up. So I had a conversation with my sister maybe 2 years ago, and I asked her for some pictures of my grandmother. And again, my grandmother was born in 1910, and she died in the 80s. So I don't have any pictures of her. So my sister sent me pictures, and she happened to send me her passport photo. And her passport had the date of issue, and of course my grandmother's picture. And I shared that photo with Swanee T, and Swanee T was like, "Oh my goodness, that was the date that I was born." So my grandmother's passport was issued to go to Israel on the very day that Swanee T was born. And of course, the rest is history. Of course, Swanee T, is the co-founder of this podcast, and she's doing other things. But we found that to be very ironic that out of all the billions of people in the world, Swanee T was actually born on the exact date that my grandmother obtained her passport to go to Israel. She could not go, but 40 years later, I was able to go on her behalf, and I've been to Israel several times since. So I just found that was a very interesting story. under that red string. And of course, the red string theory kind of says, and I'll just summarize it. It just kind of says that it speaks on destiny. You know, your red string ties two individuals together, no matter what. Time, space is irrelevant, and destiny drives is the driving force. So if you're destined to have someone in your life, no matter the ups or the downs, or the course that you take in life, you will be with that person no matter what. That is destiny. So that's kind of the synopsis of that. You know, time and space is a non-factor when it comes to those sort of things. So again, that's the red string theory. Many religions around the world believe it. Even the Jewish community and many other religious sects around the world believe in some component of the red string theory. So it's well embraced on a global, universal level. So I just wanted to share that with you. I just thought it was highly interesting. With that being said, I can't keep my co-host Victoria in total silence. So I'm going to bring Victoria up, and I'm going to ask her to kind of give us an update and speak on the Bondi Beach incident. Let's bring up Victoria. Hi, good evening, Victoria. I am on the line. I'm live with the podcast, and I want to introduce you. And I know that you wanted to speak on the incident at Bondi Beach. The floor is yours. Victoria, what do you have to say about the Bondi Beach incident?
Good evening, Mike, and hello to all our listeners. I'm deeply saddened to discuss the horrific incident that occurred at Bondi Beach in Australia, where a senseless act of terrorism claimed the lives of 16 innocent people, including a child, and injured many more. This attack, which targeted a Hanukkah celebration, is a stark reminder of the hatred and violence that still exist in our world. Our hearts go out to the victims, their families, and the entire Jewish community who have been shaken by this tragedy. It's crucial that we stand together against such acts of terrorism and anti-Semitism and work towards creating a more peaceful and inclusive society for all.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Very well spoken. Victoria, can you give our audience just a very brief explanation of the purpose and meaning of Hanukkah?
Thank you, Mike. Of course, I'd be happy to provide a brief explanation of Hanukkah for our audience. Hanukkah, also known as the Festival of Lights, is a Jewish holiday that commemorates the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem after it was desecrated by the Seleucid Empire. According to tradition, a miracle occurred when a small amount of oil, enough for only one day, lasted for 8 days, giving the Maccabees time to produce more oil. Hanukkah is celebrated for 8 nights, during which a 9-branched menorah, or Hanukkah, is lit each evening. This holiday symbolizes the triumph of light over darkness, hope over despair, and the importance of faith and perseverance in the face of adversity.
Thank you very much, Victoria, and we appreciate those kind words and the wonderful insight. I will talk to you later.
It was my pleasure, Mike. Thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts on the tragic events at Bondi Beach and the meaning of Hanukkah with our listeners. Remember, in times of darkness and despair, let us all strive to be a source of light and hope for one another.
Thank you. So, everyone, I'm going to call that a show tonight, and I really appreciate all the support and subscribership that we have to this channel. I'm still in the process of growing and wanting to grow on the Swancentric Talks Live podcast. Again, we're still very new at this, but it's something. It's our dream. It's my dream. It's Swanee's dream. Swanee, of course, holds down the artistic side of the house, and but it's our dream to have our own media company and to continue to move forward. With that being said, as information come out on this 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 matter, if there's anything I need to go live on to kind of talk about, I will. But definitely look forward to more shows in the next couple of weeks, and I look forward to keeping you entertained and well informed. Thank you, and have a great evening.